What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the M2 Motoring YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today's episode is going to be covering the S2000. I'm going to go over the car all the way around and show you all the details of it. So I look forward to showing and sharing with you all of that. But before I get started, if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Still doing the 1,000 subscriber merch giveaway. All you gotta do is follow our social media accounts. Links are in the description below, and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna give some merch away to some of you lucky people out there, and that's pretty much as simple as it gets. Also, if you could leave some comments, what you'd like to see and your thoughts on this particular project, definitely do appreciate it. So let's get started. On the last video, covered, how I acquired the car, kind of the backstory on it and what's going on with it and so forth. So the car is covered in sealer to prevent rust. There is some surface rust here, as you can see, that needs to get cleaned up. Nothing major, nothing that damages the frame or chassis. It's just some basic light surface rust in certain little areas and spots that need to be, cleaned up. No big deal. That'll get done when, it's time for paint and body. So I'm not too worried about it. But I'm going to show you the car front to back in detail and kind of go over, I guess, what the game plan is. So overall, chassis is obviously straight. There's a couple little dents and stuff from trailering and transport, like here. It's got a bend back, not a huge deal. Overall, it is a race prep chassis. There are a few things that I want to do with it just to clean it up and make it nicer. So Louis did, sectional welds for all the plating. Probably going to end up having the welds all cleaned up so it's all smooth, grinded down and smoothed out. This is a race prep car, but I do want it to look nice as well. So Ed over at Mobile Weld Specialist has agreed to put his hands on this car. I don't know if he's being nice or he doesn't know what he's getting himself into, but he's going to do some of the work on it for us and get that done. Some of the stuff I think that could have been done better here is some of the shaving of the holes in the firewall and chassis. I think they need to be cleaned up. As you can see here, they've been welded shut, but the work wasn't the cleanest. So gonna have Ed lay a little bit of weld, clean it up a little bit, just make it nice. So that is for the engine bay. Obviously take the subframe off, get that powder coated and cleaned up, things like that. I'm gonna really go through and do all the finite details and make sure this thing is 110% the way I want it, and also Steve wants it. So showing you the cage work from up top. Really put a lot of work into this cage. So the welding work, for the most part, on the cage side, it's pretty clean. Can't really find anything wrong with it. The only thing that I can kind of see and determine is the door bar is super low, but the car is hard to get in and out of since it's such a small car. So I get why he did that there. But overall, the base points for the cage, everything's generally in the right spots. Looking from how this was done, looks like the NS2000 is one of the easier cars to cage up, just because there's a lot of flat areas and there's only like a couple ways to go about this cage. This needs to be bent back. This is bent, no big deal. Obviously this is a rolling shell, so there's a lot of parts that need to be collected for this. So that'll come in due time. The quarter panel has various dings and dents and all that. You can see here, there's a big dent here, there's one here, A lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, bunch here. But overall, the car's in really good shape for what it is, and like I said, especially what we paid for. There's a lot of dents and highs and lows right here that needs to be addressed. When they did the sealer job, I know it's not the cleanest of jobs, but it's so it does not rust. That was the main point. So the chassis itself underneath doesn't have any rust or anything, so I'm really happy about that. Again, there's a couple weird dings and stuff all over the quarter panel, which I'll address later on. And as you can see here, it's all been stitch welded all the way through. But yeah, the door bar itself is tight to the chassis. It's right up against here, so I'm sure, as you know, if you ever sat an S2000, it's a pretty small car to begin with, and putting a cage in obviously is good for, you know, for better safety. There's just not a whole lot of room to work with. But overall, you know, Steve and I look forward to getting this car done and getting it on the track, and this will be something that's very, very, very fun to own and drive. But some, like I said, some cool features is, you know, there's a lot of box work done and reinforcements and so forth. So it's definitely set up, prepped, and ready for track duty. But this is going to be a very, very tedious project, but we look forward to having this done. In terms of a timeline, honestly, it just comes down to how money flows. This is going to be a pretty expensive project. I think this is going to top the EK, Steve's EK project budget, so we shall see. Am I going to run all the hardcore JDM brand parts? Probably not. I'm more on the functional aspect and wanting this to run and operate exactly how I need it to. For me, it's the track and replacement parts, and, you know, things break. So sometimes the hardcore JDM stuff is just asking for more headache than what it's worth. But we'll see. I'm still mapping out what I want to do to this and see how, I guess, we can go about getting this done. Apologies on cutting the camera. The GoPro decided to overheat. Don't know why. I guess it's a common problem with the GoPros. And it's not even a hot day today. It is what it is. So that is the car itself. Here are some of the parts. We have the trunk lid, the driver and passenger door. The doors do have quite a bit of dings and dents, so the debate is how much a cleaner set of doors will cost versus having to do the body work on the doors and all that. So we'll see. Boxes of miscellaneous parts here. Fuel door, different chassis brace, a bunch of nuts and bolts, brackets, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, came, and then here is the bar where the steering column bolts up to underneath the dash. But yeah, lots and lots of parts we need. The dash, I'm not going to get the full interior, obviously. This is a race car, so looking at the dash and door. The doors itself don't have any interior door panels, but looking at how this is done, I might need to go with a flat aluminum door panel to clean up the inside of it, or a carbon one. So that is an option. In terms of the aero, haven't decided yet, but if you follow M2 Motoring and some of the companies we work tightly with, there's a few options there. Like I said, the drivetrain, we're still exploring a few options. There is about I'd say 3 possibilities. So we'll see. I haven't, like I said, Steve and I haven't decided yet. We need to price it all out, look at what our goal is, and kind of build based on that. Obviously, we're gonna, whatever the power level we want to be at, we want to aim for a bit higher on building the engine and everything, so that when we're all out at that horsepower level, we're good all day. I know with the S2, I was speaking with Phil over in Texas. Thank you for all the information. He says the factory rear end, which this car doesn't have anymore, is only good for about mid to high 4s, and that even that territory, it's kind of sketchy. So have to look at what rear ends we're going to use, source that, you know, and just a variety of other things. The fuel system, have to figure that out. That's going to be fun. Obviously, in the floor pan, you see it's all cut out, so the fuel cell to fit in there. Obviously, I'm not looking to be street driving this really. It's a straight track vehicle, so this will definitely be something fun. What else? Interior, have a couple companies I'm thinking about working with for the seats and all that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting collecting parts over the next few months. I'm gonna be very broke, so but yeah, look forward to getting all the parts together. The game plan is to get this car back down, and I would say early in the year, so it's going to be here for a few months, about 3-4 months, while we get enough parts to get the project going at a very good pace. Because I don't want to take the car down there and it start stop on the project. I want to have everything ready where we just keep going until it's done. So yeah, it's something that's to me really cool, and I look forward to sharing with you out here on YouTube what we're doing to it. Suspension, haven't decided yet. Steve is pushing for all the insane crazy brands, and I said we don't need to go that crazy. Let's go with, you know, a good solid setup, and then if we need to upgrade, we'll upgrade from there. This car will obviously take a lot of dialing it in and setting it up while we're at the track, so it's a lot. I mean, this is taking a car from a fabricated shell to a full running car, so it's definitely going to be a fun journey. Definitely look forward to sharing with everybody. So yeah, that pretty much concludes showing you everything, the details of this car and the things that are wrong and things we need to address. So thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, you guys take care. See you on the next episode.